Welcome to the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right. Jimmy Palumbo Show number 110 here at Shea.
Wow.
110, of course, behind the glass. I've got your friend and mine, not Gene Woodling. It's a funny joke if you're a Frank Messer fan, but we have Chris Gucci behind the glass for, I think, his third week in a row. He is like on fire here.
Bro, and last week I was sitting and waiting and you were just busy.
He's today we got off. We were supposed to be on at 1. I had some issues and we were running around and Chris had some stuff to do, so we had to delay the show, but that's all right. Show number 110 of the Jimmy Palumbo Show coming from you live from downtown Mahwah in his shitty kitchen studios. Of course, we have Chris Gucci coming from the wonderful, always changing, brand new Chop Sports Studios. I, of course, am the Derrick Rose of Chop Sports, coming in off the bench when the crowd just chanting his name here from the Omni in Atlanta. Chris Gucci, good to have you aboard. Glad to see things are going well for you boys at Chop. But, of course, it's all about really my baseball card, Christopher. Well, you didn't even talk yet. How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm good. We're good.
You look good.
It's been a long time. You had a week off, so I know Jimmy's chomping at the bit. So I figured I'd give him his 5 minutes right there. Well, and honestly, you didn't say your name 38 times in the opening.
But this is the Jimmy Palumbo Show with your host, Jimmy Palumbo. No one else is saying my name. Might as well say it myself. Now, Chris, you sound very, you look very fresh. You look very, maybe you got laid last night. You just you look like it's getaway day and you're ready to give the coach 7 innings.
I said this to Ash this morning. I said, it's the first Monday that I've woken up in a long time where I didn't start my week with like this bundle of anxiety and a bunch of shit that I have to do, because what I did this weekend was I'm reading a new book. When I say reading, I'm listening to a new book. It's called, I don't even know the name of it. It's something about block scheduling, like scheduling time block. It's called. It's very good. It's short, but it's one of those production books, and it says you get your hard things done first. So I did all my hard stuff yesterday, and now I kind of go into the week with a little fresh outlook. It feels good.
Well, I tell you look good. You look like you're ready to get it going here at Shea, and I appreciate you coming on as my co-host here of the show, or my behind the glass. I just say behind the glass. There is no more behind the glass. These are all self-produced now, which means they're shittier, but still, Jimmy Palumbo, an aging veteran of podcast number 110. And of course, I have a stack of baseball cards. And Christopher, when you have a stack of baseball cards, you grab one, and this one is classic for me, well before your time, and it is Juan Beniquez. Now, he was a guy definitely in the spokes, but I didn't realize he played for 17 years, which is a long time. And he played from 1971 till 1988. I didn't realize he played that long. He batted .274, OPS of 705, which anybody over 40 doesn't know what that means. He had only 79 home runs, 476 RBIs. He was a role player, but he did win a Golden Glove in 77. Now, he played for Boston, Texas, New York, 79. Seattle, California, Baltimore, Kansas City, and Toronto, all like shitty teams back then. He did have 1,200 hits, which, hey, look, at the end of the day, it's like 1,300 hits in the major leagues. That's not bad. What are you going to do? But he also played for Boston when they lost to Cincinnati in 75, which I actually, embarrassingly, I remember it as the famous one with Carlton Fisk trying to shoo the ball over. Mm-hmm. But did you realize, I'm going to give you an assignment. When we're done with the show, I want you to Google 75 World Series on like Wikipedia. Just give it like 3 minutes. You're going to be like, this was by far the best World Series like ever. It was like, it went 7 games. Most of the games were 1-run games.
Wasn't there a fight?
There was a little fisticuffs in one game, but it was like every game.
Wasn't it between the catchers at the plate?
No, you know what? I tell you the truth. I don't know that series because I was 10 years old.
I'm thinking of the Yankees and the Red Sox. What am I thinking?
No, this is Carlton Fisk and Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench.
But it was a 7-game series, and man, I forgot. The Red Sox ended up shitting the bed in '86 with the Mets. But this one was like 2-0. Game 7, you're up 2-0 in the 4th. You know what I mean? Like at Fenway. They blew it. It's like brutal. And it's not talked about. I mean, you always see that Carlton Fish thing. Very close series, very cool. And of course, the Yankees were in the World Series the next year, and they got smoked in 4. Big Red Machine, and then the Big Red Machine went bye-bye. But anyway, he didn't do much. He was like 2 for 12 in the series or something like that. He was a backup for Luis Aparicio at one time. But I would say his biggest thing, he was traded to the Yankees in 79, okay, along with Mike Griffin, Paul Mirabella, Montclair State guy, okay, and Dave Righetti. Rags was in the trade for him. And the Yankees gave up Mike Heath, Sparky Lyle, who was, like I said, won the Cy Young in 77, and they got Gossage in 78. Larry McCall, Dave Racich, Domingo Ramos, and Cash. So that was a blockbuster trade in November. That's when baseball, right after the season ended, like November, had these huge trades. It was like 8 guys are going here. And nowadays they have these 8-player trades, and like 2 guys are get traded to like a soccer team, and then the Knicks get 4 guys, the Yankees get 3 of their catchers. You ever see these trades now? It's not like I'm trading Jimmy Plumbo for Chris Gucci. No, it's like Jimmy Plumbo and Joe Rogan.
And there's like players to be named at a later date.
Yeah,
there's contingencies. Did this guy play this many games? You get a different guy.
And then, like, the Raptors are involved in the trade, and they have to sign off on it. I'm so right about that. Anybody over 50 knows you get these trades. Like, I don't even know. You wake up in the morning, you're like, wait a minute, I don't know who we got.
But then if you really want to get technical about it, it's like full circle, because look at what Babe Ruth was traded for.
A Broadway show, but that was kind of cash, really, at the end of the day.
But yeah, that's what it came down to.
I hate those 5-team
dynamics.
trades.
It used to be more crazy than it is now.
And the Knicks never do well in any of that shit. Anyway, so Juan Beniquez from Puerto Rico, again, he's still alive. He's 72, second week in a row, bro. I did my research. I find nothing on this guy, not even an Instagram, like Juan Beniquez. I guess he made 17 years. He was making $500,000 a year back then, which was decent money. And he went back to Puerto Rico, and he's probably a fat bastard sitting there in his beautiful little condo with a little hot 30-year-old, and he won. So Juan Beniquez is nowhere to be found, but that's my guy. Bad baseball card, the 1980 card. I don't know, you guys probably remember these, but that's it. Juan Beniquez only played a year for the Yankees. And he batted 254. In 79, he batted 254, 4 home runs, 17 RBIs in 62 games. That's not that bad. He wasn't a bad player. He was like a classic average role player, and he went from team to team. He won a Golden Glove in 77, so he had a decent glove. So that's my guy, Juan Beniquez. Who do you got?
All right, so I have a guy that you definitely have heard of, and if you don't remember him when I say his name, you'll remember him. But I found it interesting because I only expected him to be playing for one team his entire career. And then I found it even more interesting that he played for 20 years, played for the Twins largely. He did win a World Series. He's a 4-time Gold Glove winner.
What position? See if
I want to say third base. Let me check.
Oh, I know who. Oh God, I know who it is. See, I'm too old to remember. I'm gonna know.
His initials are GG, right? And he looks like if Rick Moranis got drunk every day and chewed on tobacco his whole life.
GG, that's throwing me off. GG.
Gary Gaetti.
Gary Gaetti. Oh,
Gary
absolutely.
Gaetti, one of like
they call him the
best
the shark, the monkey, or something.
Doesn't know. I don't know quite what he had going on, but he rocked that 70s thing deep into the 80s. But he played a really long time. He played 10 years with the Twins. Pretty good stats, like way better than I thought. He would be fitting well right now because he's a career 255 hitter. So, I mean, maybe he'd be contending for batting titles, but he did have 360 home runs, which is pretty good.
You know what? I would love to. He always did well against. Well, again, sometimes
against the Yankees,
he always did well against. Yeah, Gary Gaetti with a 3-run home run. But sometimes when you really look up the stats, they don't do as well as you think they did.
Yeah, I mean, his career high in home runs is 34. Like, he had a couple really good seasons. 4-time Gold Glove winner. He played, like I said, he played for his first 10 years. He played in Minnesota, and then he went to KC for 3, California for 3.
Didn't he?
The Cardinals for 3, the Cubs for 2, and the Red Sox for 2.
My buddy Mark DiCarlo, he had a nickname, Gary Gaetti, I'm blowing it. The shark.
One of the weirdest looking dudes, but hey, he got it done for 20 years in Major League Baseball. World Series champion in 87.
How many hits? I bet he had over 2,000 hits.
Yeah, over 2,000 hits. I think almost 23, 2280.
All right. Gary Gaetti's almost too good for this show.
A 42 WAR, win above replacement, was a 42. That's really good player. Really good player. I know that doesn't mean jack shit to you.
I thought war meant that you played like, not during World War II or Vietnam
right. Yeah. There's no service time taken away for his
Ted
career.
Williams had a good war because he went there for 3 years.
Do you remember who the ace of the Twins was? Of that.
Yes. You know what? I suck at this.
Frank Viola.
Yeah,
he was another
Frank
chubby,
Viola,
overweight. Looked like he had a couple beers too many.
This was like when the Twins were way better than the Yankees, and then
Kent Herbeck was
Kent
their first.
Herbeck. Yeah, they had a great wiffle ball team. When
They sure
I
did.
remember, yeah,
They sure did. But that's my guy, Gary
Frank
Gaetti.
Viola. That's great. Yeah, they were good, and they were managed by what's his name?
Was it? I mean, I was gonna say Gardenhire, but that was way
after
later.
that. Way after that.
He was playing at that time.
He was an old baseball man with gray hair. I suck. I should know.
It's not Sparky Lyle. Not Sparky Anderson. He was the Tigers.
Right. Well, he was the Reds and then the Tigers.
Yeah, but for my life, he was the Tigers, and he was old as shit from the minute I laid eyes on him.
He was one of those old baseball guys. Anyway, doesn't matter. All right. So Gary Gaetti and Juan Velasquez as part of our baseball card collection. And that's cool. And that brings us to the part of the show which the fans love, Patreon. But I got nothing. I had my sisters chiming in. Hey, Mayor, how you doing? You're listening live, I hope. That's my beloved, my loving sister hopped in and say, hey, Jim, and Sam Grasso and Bobby Sheeha in the spokes. That's his favorite phrase. My whole career is in the spokes. But we got Patreon. We are mired. We are stuck at 27. Can't get out of 27, bro. Maybe it's the 27 Yankees. We can't, no 28. Maybe it's because Giancarlo. We're going to get to that in a second. But I'll read them off. That's right. Alex Stetsena, Mary Eileen Riccardi, Mike DeMosi, my mom, my cousin Joe, Rob Pastor, Kappa Sig and the Eddies, James Kanowitz, web guy, can't get in touch with him, Jimmy Riccardi, my nephew, all he does is blow money on shitty tickets, Knicks, Rangers. Like, he's not even a Ranger fan. He's like, I'm thinking about going to the game. He's making some good money, and he's having fun. My sister's now saying crap. Come on, people. I don't know what she means by that.
Talk about Patreon, bro.
Oh, okay. So the Patreon thing? All right. What else we got? We got my nephew, John Henry Riccardi, who's still in Italy. My nephew, Eric. Mike Caprio. The
manager was Tom Kelly.
I think Caprio owes me a check. Piece of shit.
Tom Kelly.
Second baseman. Tom Kelly. That's right. Maybe Tom Kelly should be on my Patreon. We got Frank Palumbo, of course. My brother, Darryl Clark, LSU boy. Greg Casalino. Just talked with him the other day. Coming in, Tom Kelly, Dino. Good job, Dino. A little late, but we got. Ben Harper came in too in the chat. I give them credit for that. Then we got Greg Casalino, Mike Shecky, Lawler, Dave Ben, Pat Volkemer. Who I got to talk to Patty. Patty with his posts too much, bro. Too much. You got to just do like 3 or 4
a day.
When you're on the roll. He did like 30. They were good. I said, Pat, they're all great. I was actually like, oh my God, this is good. But when you're answering, he answers his own thing. I got to talk to him. Of course, I told you he's up at 4 a.m. He's got nothing to do. He's working, and he goes nuts. But
hey, Pat, keep doing what you're doing. Who cares? Honestly, post whatever the hell you want. It's social media for a reason.
It's social media, and people. I really think people like we mock them, but the questions are good. There's no question.
My whole thing is this, and I'll stand by this. If you don't like what you're seeing, it's just as simple as just. A, you don't even have to be in the group, number one. If it's really that troublesome, just go somewhere else, number one. Number two, if you do like the group, simply mute Pat if you don't like Pat's post. It's so easy to tailor it however you'd like. Simple as that. So, Pat, keep doing your thing, bro. Don't listen to Jimmy at all.
No, I love Pat, and I love the fact that he gets on everybody's ass. Dave hates him because he's always
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
I know. It's a running gag we have. I mean, even me with the Cowboy fans on that site,
of course.
But no, it's all in sports. We've had this conversation. The minute you get like where you want to fight somebody or hate somebody over sports, you're the jerk off. You know what I mean? It's like the Giants lose to the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game. Oh, wait, that never happens. When the Giants usually beat the Cowboys in a playoff game, then well, back in '99, you know what it is? In 1996, there was no social media, so I don't know. I can't relate to any of the Cowboy fans. They didn't have social media then, so a little casual dig there.
Ooh, God forbid.
Anyway, yeah, the Cowboys win it. Like Dallas is going to just explode, or not Dallas. Bergen County will explode with it.
What if
Asshole
the
made
Knicks? What if the Knicks win this series? The Heat beat the Bucks. Then the Knicks play the Heat.
Oh, it'd be great.
What will the Garden be like if they beat the Heat to go to the Eastern Conference Finals or something like that?
It would be great. The best casual dig right there. The Rat. That's right, Ben Harper. Ben Harper, you are my favorite fan of the day. Gary Gaetti was known as the Rat. That's so funny. All right, let me rattle up. What else we got? We got Martin Walsack, Michael Deege, Janine Michaud from Absolute Eyewear, Robin Achani, John Henry Palumbo, Greg Alperin, my beer league thing, which we're going to discuss in a second, Bobby Palumbo, Tommy Palumbo, Tyson Hogan, the unknown Patreon. He's like the unknown comic, the unknown Patreon. And, of course, coming in at 27, Louis Weege Vichadomini, bad mother from Colonia High School. So, all right, well, that's my Patreon list. And what are you going to do? Now, of course, all of this is brought to you by Absolute Eyewear. That's right, 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326-3937. Craig and Janine Michaud. They're a great place to go get their opticians. You got to get your glasses there. Okay.
Bro, I was so ready for you to say. You can't
see it. You're blind as a bat. You should go see Janine.
I was ready. I actually was like, if you rewind the tape right now and
you were ready.
I was like, I actually was about to say it, and you left me left me dangling out dry.
The problem is that, 732-326.
Eyes.
Even it just again.
I owed you that. I owed you that for leaving me out there.
Even that, it was late. You got to jump.
I know.
Right
I did
in.
that on purpose. The second time I did it on purpose, bro.
732-326-3937 by the train station. Absolute Eyewear. They got their full service opticians doctor on site. They have Ray-Ban coach Ralph Lauren, Dave Sturchio's Jimmy Choo, Silhouette, Michael Kors, Vogue, Maui Jim, Costa Del Mar, and Charles Oakley goes there. They got discounts, $100 off. Mention the show, mention Chop Sports, do whatever you got to do. They're awesome. Now, they're open.
My aunt was just in there this past weekend and the weekend before. They took great care of her. My mother was in there. They met my niece. So it's a family affair now.
Out. The thousands of dollars they've spent they're getting a few $100s back here at Shea.
I don't know if it's them, but my aunt has to have a procedure done for her eyes, and I don't know if it's their amazing staff over there that noticed the issue. So shout out to them if it was.
Big shout out to Absolute Eyewear getting involved here. They're open 5 days a week. They're closed Wednesdays.
That would be because of softball,
and they're closed Sundays.
Football Sundays, of course.
This is Jim Gordon alongside Dick Lynch. Football Giants are on the air. Venditti drove off the road. More on that in a second. I'm going to be talking about Steve Venditti in a second. You're going to laugh your ass off. Anyway, go check it out. Absolute Eyewear. Now, a couple of things. I want to talk about Giancarlo Stanton. Okay? Listen, I love him, and he got hurt again. But, man, the anger on WFAN and the Post – Phil Mushnick, I love you, bud, but like you're ripping on this guy because he hit a tee shot that hit the top of the wall that everybody thought was gone. Michael Kay was calling it gone, and he had a hustle in the second base, and he got hurt. He got hurt slowing down, and he popped a hamstring. He just gets injured every year. There's no doubt about it. But when this guy plays, he's a force. I don't care what anybody. He's a force in the lineup. Your pitching staff, you got to watch out for a guy like that. And Yankees right now have 5 guys in the lineup that are batting below 200. I don't know how you could play baseball this way. It's like everybody's batting 175. Like Gallo would be starting on the Yankees now. But they're ripping on Stanton. I don't think it's that fair. Look, he's missed a lot of games because of injuries. Some of the injuries were weird injuries. Some of them are just muscle pulls, probably because he's in such shape. And you got to bust his balls. I get it, but
you gotta call it what it is. Stanton has largely been unavailable for most of the time that we've had him. It's always been a waiting game. And when he's in the lineup, great. I agree. He's one of my favorite players. I'm not even bashing him, but the criticism is fair at this point.
Yeah,
the criticism was fair for the last 2 years.
Him not hustling. First of all,
I'm going to say, I don't care if players hustle when they're making 100 million or 30 million. I don't want him to hustle. I agree. Run out of the box, things like that. It's a mistake.
Yeah, but I've seen him on double play balls.
That's not the reason why he
hustle.
blew his hamstring out. That hamstring was going to blow out one way or another.
Just a matter of when.
It was just a matter of how and when.
I will listen to me. If I will tell all you Yankee fans out there, you ready? If they don't get Stanton back and hitting and being Giancarlo Stanton, they ain't winning nothing. They need that bat in the lineup. He's a force. The other guy, like DJ LeMay, who won the game the other night, good for him. He's now a solid 250 hitter. That's what he is. And he plays a couple of positions. Aaron Judge is clearly one of the top 5 players in the game, although he's been slumping lately. But Aaron Judge is the only badass. Volpe, again, are we going to be still talking about Volpe when he's batting 190 in August? They don't hit. The Yankees don't hit.
Volpe's starting to hit.
Listen, I love the kid and I want him to play, but let's not get carried away here. Anyway, I think they're being a little hard on Stanton, but and I think he's the coolest player in the league, and I want him back. So I can't even do the Rizzo versus Stanton thing, and really Rizzo's kicking ass so far. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to put that graphic up. Rizzo is now 1 for 35. His average will drop. He's not going to stay at 320. I guarantee you that. And also Joey Gallo coming in at 235.
I feel like he's entering the safe zone in terms of batting under 220 soon.
No, he goes on slumps, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, he also
gets
with
hot. With the shift.
He also gets hot.
I said he would bat under 225. That bet looks shitty right now. Yeah. But talk to me in a month. Joey Gallo, of course, got hurt, came back, hit a bomb. He's batting 235. He's got 5 home runs.
Look, if Rizzo's average drops 100 points from this point on, he's got to go. Point blank.
Well, I get it, but let's see. When it's a guy
like we're not, I know baseball
and
really long.
He gets hurt too. He gets
baseball season's really long, but when you start looking at it, we're getting a good chunk of it done now. So it's like now there's a good sample size.
It's April.
I'm just saying,
chunk.
It's going to be there soon. You put together a 25 game stretch.
The odds of August.
If you're batting 320 after a month, you shouldn't bat 220 that year. You have to do really, really, really bad the rest of the way.
Well, first of all, that brings up another topic. Yankees are everybody's like, oh, they're getting going. They're 5 games out. You know what that means, right?
He's a career.
That means we're into August before they catch the Rays. You know how long it takes to pick up 5 games? It's brutal. Everybody acts like, no, we're only 5 games back. It's early. Yeah. Watch how long it takes. It's real hard to pick up 5 games. And again, Tampa Bay, geez, that's unbelievable. They got 3 losses. It's unbelievable how good that team is and how often they just win. But that's it on the Yanks. What is this guy? Dino, it's hard to count on Stanton. He's going to miss his. You know what? He's still one of their better players when he plays. But, yeah, he's been hurt. It sucks. And I'm aggravated. So let's talk about our Knicks. Now, my buddy Steve Venditti, who works for the Giants, he's been busting Danny Dimes Jones balls about getting with his boys from Duke, getting tickets. And he got a call Friday night. Daniel Jones called him up and said, hey, Steve, you want to go to the game? He was at the Knicks game mid-court with Daniel Jones, cameras on him. If you go on Twitter and you Google Danny Jones, sitting right to his left is my buddy Steve Venditti, which I know you're going to do that soon, or even you're going to do it now. Anytime they show Daniel Jones at the game, look to the guy sitting next to him, and that's my buddy Venditti. That's awesome. It's probably the best thing Daniel Jones has done, besides get a huge contract. But, again, it's something that I don't think Dak Prescott would have done. You know what I'm saying? But just the digs on the Cowboys, it's a slow news day here in Shea. And certainly Rodgers would have went by himself with a hottie, I'm also tired of the Rodgers thing with the Jets. I hate it. And the draft is what, this Thursday?
Thursday.
Yeah, the Giants pick 80th? Nobody cares. Anyway, I know you do over there at Chop because that's what you guys do. But
I care because it's a big week for the Packers because Aaron Rodgers should get moved officially this week.
Yes, he should be traded to the Jets by Wednesday. All right, so my Knicks up 3-1 against the Cleveland Cavaliers, getting involved here. To me, the Knicks are playing well. It's fun. The that's funny. The spawns of Satan. Some Ben Harper hopping in, knocking out the Cowboys. So funny. Listen, the Knicks, I tell you what, to me, 3 rebounds changed the whole series. Randall's rebound in game 1, huge rebound. And the 2 big rebounds, one was by Hart, and I think Hartenstein got the other one on missed shots by the Knicks. The Cavs were kind of, it was a minute and a half to go. The Cavs were kind of maybe mounting a little situation. Offensive rebounds. But I didn't realize this. I don't know if you know. I don't know where they were ranked, but the Knicks, I think, are in the top 5 team for offensive rebounds. And I forgot in the playoffs how huge that is. Miss shots and you get the rebound, reset to 24. But look, the Garden's rocking. The Knicks are playing well. I just refuse to believe, what's his name? Mitchell. He's not shooting well. Is that really? It's 4 games now. He really hasn't dominated. I just can't see that going on. He's got to have one of those games.
I mean, but you put yourself in a really nice spot as to where even if he does have one of them, you can almost.
And I say, if you make the argument that the guy in Cleveland's going to light it up once, I could say, well, you know what? Randall hasn't lit it up once, and he's done that.
I read a report today that
times.
Randall didn't play down the stretch yesterday.
Well, it's about time Thibodeau sat him. He never does.
But it's because he's dealing with the lingering issue.
His ankle hurts him, man. He looks shitty.
Yeah,
but
that's
Knicks
what
fans,
it is.
I feel bad for Randall because, again, he's like 25 points a game for like 4 years now. But it's the way he plays. It's his game that it's like it's isolation, but like he also gets big rebounds. He's a good defender. Randall's a good player. Listen, playoffs are different. If you notice, again, this is why the NBA regular season blows. In the playoffs, I hate to say it, the guys try harder. Every possession is contested. So you get a guy like, you get certain players and all of a sudden, hey, man, like, no, this ain't Tuesday night in Toronto in January.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You get effort on both sides of the court in the playoffs every play.
That's the biggest difference. NFL football playoffs are like that, but basketball is different. It's an individual D up guarding your man. And it's you really see it. And because I thoroughly, and hockey's the same way. You see much more energy. We'll get to that in a second. But look, the Knicks are up 3-1. I still think this series has a shot of going 7. I do. But hey, it's fun. It'll be great because the Boston Garden is rocking. The Bruins only lost 1 game all year. And the Celtics are very, very good. And the Madison Square Garden's rocking with the Knicks and Rangers. Wouldn't it be like awesome if somehow, through the grace of God, Rangers beat the Bruins, Knicks beat the Celtics in the playoffs, just shut everything. That would be a dream for me.
The Knicks would be going to the NBA Finals if they beat the Celtics. Because the only way they play them is in the conference championship.
Of course. I'm saying it, but it's always good when Boston.
And honestly, though, they would probably both lose that series. Like the Bruins are really good, from what I know about hockey, which is next to nothing.
They're the best.
And the Celtics are a better team than the Knicks. We clearly would be favored.
The Bruins, dude, I don't really follow hockey either, but the Bruins, like, I think they lost 5 games all year. They had like the best year ever for anybody. Anyway, but I'm joining the Knicks. I'm watching Knickerbocker basketball. I love it. And then my Rangers, of course, I say my Rangers. I am the premier NHL playoff hockey fan. I watched about 8 minutes of regular season play, and the greatest sport ever is overtime NHL hockey playoffs. It's mind-boggling. It's edge of your seat. It's almost like it shouldn't be because you almost score. The ball hits off the boards. The guy gets it. Boom, boom, boom. Scores. You're like, it's almost like a pick 6 in overtime. And NFL.
It's almost like that's how they should play hockey. That's the only way they should play hockey.
Right. It's wild. And it's it's a lot.
First goal wins of the game, and that's it.
I don't hate the Devils or Jersey team, but there was no Devils growing up. And to me, you grow your fanship between the age of 10 and 18. And there was no Devils. Well, the Devils just started. I was 18. I was already a Ranger fan. Nothing you could do. But listen, they're up 2-1. Knicks are up 3-1. So the local team's doing well. Yankees are doing okay. The Mets are doing okay. And that's it. My Scarlet McKnights, I have nothing to report other than it appears that every 5-star recruit is coming to Rutgers basketball. They're getting all these major recruits in the next year. Some of them are still in high school. If that happens, that's wild to me. But a football team, same way. But you know what, Chris? I've been watching Rutgers since 1983. I can't do this recruiting thing and look who we got coming in. I'm too old. I want to watch the games and see it on the field. In other words, these recruits, I get that they're 5-star. I get all that. That's cool. But you know what? I want to see it on the court. I want to see it on the court. I want to see the 5-star come in and be 5-star on the court, not 5-star come in and, well, let's give him another year. College, he's working his way through.
He chose Rutgers because he was told you're going to sit the bench
if you go anywhere else. Now, I did read up on these guys, Bailey and even Dylan Harper. They really are like top 10 recruits nationally. That's mind-boggling. If we get those guys to go, that'll be crazy. But we'll end up in the NIT. That's it for that. Now, of course, at Shea, we have, I got to mention, your friend and mine, cornholelevel.com. That's right. Christopher, you hook this thing on your cornhole board and you move it around, you get it right, and the ball goes in the center of the dial. I'll see if I can get an idea. See the ball there? You move it around, there's a little bubble in there, and boom, perfect cornhole board. These are available at cornholelevel.com. You're a cornhole leveler, Christopher. You don't want to show up at a barbecue, do you? And some of your stupid friends are playing.
Definitely don't want a crooked cornhole, bro.
No, you can't have a crooked cornhole. You know what I mean? It's been years. And, you know, for $19.95 with 20% off your order, go to cornholelevel.com. Check it out. As a matter of fact, I think Mike owes me a check. I'm still doing your ad for no money. That seems to be a common theme here at Job Sports since 1996. But go to cornholelevel.com, get your leveler, and it's a great thing. Perfect stocking stuffer. Of course, if you mention JP Show or Chop Sports, you get 20% off your entire order. I think it's like $1.85. I should probably figure that exactly what it is. I'm going to do that after the show so I know. Check it out. Mike Caprio, my second baseman from Corona. And go check it out. Cornholelevel.com. It's a cool gift for all you cornhole fans out there. What else we got here? This is going to be a shorter show, I think. Well, a couple things I can discuss. Went to my daughter's dance recital, and my daughter did very well. She really, she in 6 dances. She did her solo on Saturday and a bunch of other dances on Sunday. But the funny thing is, I can't watch the other schools dance. Like, I'll watch a little bit of the King Center, which my daughter goes to occasionally. But like, once you get into other schools, like, I have to step out of the auditorium. I just have what makes me crazy about dance recitals is they take these songs and they have these breathy voices to slow it down. So they'll take a song like I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston, and it'll just be piano, like ding, ding, and I, ding, 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 will always love you. Like by some girl, breathy voice. But you get like 6 of those in a row, and you're like, okay, what is this, like suicide prevention here? Did they get this? And then someone plays like a Chuck Berry song, right? And the crowd's dancing. The dancers suck, but it doesn't matter. You're like, oh, that was a great dance. These slow Billie Eilish kind of songs, I can't stand it. It just makes me crazy. And another thing, again, I'll be inappropriate, as sometimes I am. A couple of dance schools, there was one song called Burlesque. Okay, so how do you think they were dressed, Chris? Like, and it was like 60 of them on stage. And I was like, oh my God, like, it's so bad. I
would just be like, yeah, you're going to sit that one out.
Yeah, well, my daughter, this is another school, not my daughter's. I'm definitely going to I told my daughter, I said, Daddy likes to joke around a lot. I really do. I'm always kidding around with my daughter. But like, I was like, Nat, like, Daddy's going to bring the hammer down. Like, so don't think like, I'm easygoing, but like, if I think you're on stage with your ass hanging out, like, that's not happening. You will, like, no, not happening. I just think it's inappropriate. And then
I'm not gonna.
The song is burlesque, and these girls
the song is burlesque. I would say that
they want it. That's the one who won it. And I was like, you know what? And it looked like, to be honest with you, the judges looked like they played for the other team. or the National League, however you want to word that. And I'm like, but it's in a, again, I guess I'm wrong. It's like this whole Me Too.
Want me to say it
like
so
that?
you don't have to?
Well, I do it in my stand-up, but I mean,
But
I just think
I get it. I agree with you. To me, it's like out of the 120 parents involved there, not one of them was like, yo,
right,
not
has
happening.
to be. I just, and I get like, but the thing is, it's not so much the dress. Okay, I could live with that.
No, it's the concept that you're
well, how about
insinuating
they're twerking? They're doing
it's like I'm
they
good
had
on
chairs. They had chairs.
What are you supposed? Is it supposed to be funny? Is it supposed to be? Dare you say
I'm
like
not
the
saying
actual word that it's insinuating it's supposed to be sexual? It's crazy.
And some of the girls are 13 and 14 on the stage. And then if the girls that are 18, it's inappropriate because there's the whole thing stinks. I can't stand it. And
uncomfortable is the best way to put it.
You know what? In that way, and then people say, well, you shouldn't be looking at that. Well, I'm watching the show. I'm in the 8th row. And I got these girls, with all the makeup and the lights, they all look 25 to me. And all of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute, I'm at a dance competition. This is all. I mean, that was on Sunday. I brought a lot of dollar bills, and I was throwing some on. No, it's just no
cut.
No, it's just the song, like the twerking. That's not dance.
Yeah, let's
I can't
all right, well, next topic.
We're moving on. Please, dance company people, dress your kids appropriately. That's all I got to say on that. But my daughter did great, which is I was very proud of her. But here's the funny part. So in this room, there was a TV in the lunchroom that wasn't on. And me and one of the guys, the Ranger game was coming on, and one of the guys was like, what's that TV? What if that TV works? I was like, it's probably closed circuit for the school because it was at a middle school in East Brunswick. And also, like, there's this janitor, walking by, and I was like, hey man, like, does that TV work? He's like, oh yeah, hell yeah, just hit the power. So guy reaches up, hits the power button, and like, what are the odds? I was like, I don't even know what channel the Rangers are on. We literally, wherever that channel was, he hit the button like 4 times. The next thing you know, I see a puck moving on the ice, and I was like, oh my god.
That guy probably thought you were this huge Rangers hockey fan. You needed to see the game. It's like,
but you understand, it got to the point where all
game you've watched in 2 years.
Every guy suddenly moved to the area where the TV was, and because dads don't know what to do. You can't go in the dressing room to go get your daughter.
Bro, I would have been a big hockey fan in that moment. I would have been like, oh, perfect.
I know, and so on Sunday, I knew I was going to miss a lot of the Knick game, but the TV was there, and I got there. Like, I showed up as soon as I was there. It was already on the Knick channel. I was like, oh. So I watched the entire Knick game without sound, which really, as a fan, you get to watch. That's why I was laughing at that the Cavs were going to eat them up because they were going to the hole early. But next thing you know, I'm watching, there's like 20 dads. All of a sudden, one dad missed his kid's dance. So I saw the costume that my daughter wears. She was sitting, that one of the other kids was sitting with their parents. I went over and I said, listen, when your daughter goes to the back, that means my daughter is ready to go because she was, I don't know where she was. I was like, but there's like 3 minutes left in this Knick game, and I'm gonna wait till the last possible second to watch. But the game ended about 3 minutes before my daughter got on stage. I ran inside and I watched. It was perfect, but it was fun to watch with a group of people. My nephew went to the game on Friday, and I told my nephew, because he's 25 years old, right? He's starting to make a few dollars. I told him, I said, dude, you don't understand New York. Like, everybody's like, Yankees, Giants, yeah. It's a basketball town, always has been. When the Knicks get going, this town gets stupid. He's like, I don't know, the Yankees are big. I'm like, nah. They're not, because the Knicks there's like Mets and Yankee fans love the Knicks. It's like a combination of that asshole Met fan, that asshole Giant fan, the asshole Yankee fan, with a big sprinkling of asshole Cowboy fan. They're all Knick fans. So when they showed the crowd shots of the Knicks, did you see some of those guys in guinea tees with the chains? I was like, if you're sitting in Iowa, you were like, look at these jerk offs. This team's not even that good. And I love it because the Knicks so rarely do anything. But
Yeah,
my nephew said the
and
bars
you
outside.
combine that with the fact that they're desperate for a good Knicks team in New York for so long, it will light the city on fire.
For sure. And 94 was that way with the Rangers. I remember it well. And I told my nephew, I'm like, dude, you got to go. Even if you don't get tickets, go to the bars outside the Garden. There's chicks there. It's like the Garden. It's like almost like all of Midtown is rocking. They even have the TV on Times Square. I was like, enjoy it because it's fun. And you're young, he's single, like he's got a few dollars on him. Like, go enjoy the whole thing. And he's not really a Ranger fan, but he's like, well, Jim, a lot of girls like hockey. I'm like, I know. I remember 1994. We were like, there was girls all over. For some reason, chicks like hockey. I'm saying chicks. That's what they look like. They love hockey. It's nuts. So it's a good time to be a Knicks fan running around, even though they're only up 3-1 in the first round, and we're acting like we're in the Eastern Conference Finals already. But you know what? When you're starving for so long and someone gives you a piece of bread, you got to act like you're at an Italian restaurant. That's what you got to do. If that was like if Rutgers ever went to the Sweet 16 or the Final 8, I'd be out of my mind. Anyway, so that was fun. So I watched my daughter dance, and I got to watch the Ranger and the Knicks game. So that was very fun there. What the hell else do I got to say? Of course, this segment is brought to you by Chasing Miracles, introducing breakthrough technology, phototherapy patches. Now, I've agreed to actually try it for a month. My weight is going good. I'm eating healthier there, playing a little ball, doing okay. Softball will start next week. Excited. Game got canceled Sunday, and I couldn't make it because of the dance. So Johnny Trino is back playing softball for the Potbellies of Ramsey, which is appropriately named. But you got to check out Chasing Miracles, phototherapy patches. They use light to stimulate the body's natural healing systems, an effective, inexpensive way to reactivate your own stem cells using your personal body power source. Instead of pills and surgery, this delivers a non-invasive, non-transdermal approach. You got to go to chasingmiracles.com. They got all kinds of health things on there. Talk to Tommy and Donna. This stuff is backed by years of clinical research. Go check it out. They're sending me. I think I'm going to start as soon as I get them. I'm going to be wearing these things. We'll have some fun with it, and I'll let you know how it works for me. So that is it.
I heard that it absorbs better when you put it over your nipple.
You see that? Mocking out my sponsor, Chasing Miracles.
No. I was mocking out you, but
oh really? Well, I can't put anything on my nipples because I have like bigger tits than half the 7th and 8th graders here and shit. Yes, but I'm doing better with the weight. I don't look like Bone Crusher Smith, and hopefully that'll work out. I also though
they don't make the.
Well, I injured.
They don't make the big patches.
See that to cover my gut. You see that? Yeah, I got a little bit of a belly. You know what I mean? First of all,
all right, that was a layup. I had to take it. Bro.
You had to but see, the fact that you still think you're better than me in sports is comical to me.
Bro, what are we talking about? No, please don't go there.
Dude, you think you're so much slower. You're 40 now. You ain't got me and you were in the same club now. Fat bastards. That's what it is. You're out of shape.
I'm definitely not out of shape.
You're out of shape.
I'm not out of shape.
You know
How much do you think I weigh?
It doesn't matter what you weigh. I know
not out of shape.
Exactly right. Ben Harper saying you can play slow pitch softball without a gut. Laugh out loud. That's so funny. But I'm looking forward to getting back into softball shape. But listen, I'm better than you in softball, pickleball, tennis, ping pong.
Ping pong's not a sport.
I bet I can run a 5K just as within.
Jimmy, you can't run 5K.
Yes, I can.
You ain't running a straight 5K. That'll put money on. No, get the.
I'm a competitive guy.
You got to walk some.
I don't walk. I'll do the whole thing.
You ain't running a 5K.
It only takes you about a half hour. You can.
You ain't running a fucking half hour. Excuse my language. There is no.
I've run 2 5Ks already.
We've had this conversation before, and this was a year ago.
You
ain't running
in shape,
5K, bro.
You think you're in shape, and you ain't shit. That's fine.
I can tell you this, guys.
You're in denial.
I'm not running a 5K. Jimmy, you're also not running a 5K.
I run it. No problem. No problem. I'll even be doing like, I'll be like the boxer. I'll be doing.
They give you a cheeseburger at the end of every K.
Definitely gonna eat.
I get a cheeseburger at the end of every K, and then you're good, right? Just some motivation.
Yeah, right. You go. It ends right by the bar. You walk right in, get a little quesadilla with a nice cold beer.
They might even reopen Rugs and Riffies for that one.
But speaking of being out of shape, I injured. I don't know what's going on. I injured my ankle. I thought it was the gout. Then I thought maybe it was
You guys hear this? This guy's talking about running a 5K. He thinks he may have injured himself. It might be the gout.
No.
You're gonna need that ankle to run that 5K.
Against you, dude. I'm competitive. You have to shoot me, bro. Dude, you're not in shape. You haven't been an athlete since you're 18. You watch MMA and
no,
think
I'm
you
not.
Can be
You're right.
an
I'm not
MMA
an
wrestler.
athlete since I probably wasn't even an athlete anymore at 18, right? Was
Please.
my senior year, that was it.
I watched you play softball. It was embarrassing. And so I know you have no skills.
Jimmy, I was the fastest person in the whole league.
Okay. How and so when we played a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
I am
oh my God.
Positive.
It's like 100%. Slow motion. You're like DVR. It was slow motion, bro. Oh my!
Nah,
yeah.
Bro.
One thing you were good at. You were like a pinball machine in the outfield. The ball hit your glove, your chin, your gut, your ear, hit every body part and fell to the ground. And
I know I was one of those guys that they had to put Jimmy in right center when I was in left center, or put me in left center when Jimmy was in right center, because I had to cover more ground.
But yeah, right. I was playing right field. And I realized, wait a minute, I should be the starting left fielder on this team. I'm back, bro. You can't handle the truth. But anyway,
out and all.
So I actually went to the City MD. I might have this like bone spur issue, and I got to go to see Dr. Tony Sergi, who's
These
my
things
boy
are just not lining up with the rest of what you're saying,
dude. I
might see an orthopedic surgeon for bone spurs or gout.
But I'm still better than you, bro. Even with injuries, okay. You think you're better than me? You're not.
I don't even know what the hell. How did this happen? How did this happen? Me just said like you need to. I said that they don't make the big patches for your tit. To cover your titty. And you started talking shit about
so wrong. I'm back, bro. Anyway, so I was. The good news is first of all, really quick, I'll mention. Don't forget Pine Tar Bar and Grill at pinetarbargrill.com. My buddy Tommy's place in Forked River, best sports bar in New Jersey. Also, my therapist friend, Lisa Ruane, 201-725-1251. She's certified therapist and hypnotherapy and all kinds of things. If you're in a jam, you feel like shit, you're getting a little goofy with yourself, call her up. She's a therapist. She'll take care of you. She'll walk you through. And she's really good people. So don't forget to do that. Again, Lisa Ruane, 201-725-1251. So that's all for my sponsors. Now, I can't mention what I'm not allowed to mention anything. I worked this week. I'll leave it at that. And I can't mention anything else, but it was cool. I got paid well, which is cool. But it was so good just to be hanging out with actors again, man. Sitting in the green room, talking shop, learning about where you're from, what you do. Because when you used to audition for shows, you saw these people every week, and you BS in the room. You find out different plays people are doing. You give someone hands you a postcard, or you now, of course, you get their Instagram, whatever the hell you call it. But like, you don't get to hang out with actors or people that are in showbiz that get where you get the blues, the ups and downs. And I got a kick out of it because I always think that everybody's better than me when I'm in the room. I always think I'm the worst player there. And then all of a sudden you realize, like, when you start looking up their IMDb, it's like, wait a minute. I've done way more than these people have. But they're also younger, so you got to factor that in. I'm the Don Sutton of actors. But who's this? Diana Aguilar. Is that Rick Aguilar's kid? Your posts are always worth a look, but we are not friends on Facebook. Oh, this is great. I sent you a friend request, but it never went through. If you don't mind, can you try to add me as your friend from your Facebook page? I don't know who this is. Every time I get those weird, but you see that? Can you read the?
But yes, the answer is yes. You will, Diana Aguilar. Jimmy will accept your friend request so you could enjoy.
Yeah, but it's always then you look at the photographs and it's always the girl's got like barely no shirt on, and it's like she's from like Taiwan.
This one seems real.
Your posts are always, but we are not. I sent you a friend. That sounds odd. Diane, if you're listening to this, how do you know me? You don't know me from beer league.
Maybe through beer league. Maybe she's just
I don't know.
You're a public figure, Jim. You just talked about your IMDb credits. That's how people know you, bro.
Yeah, I'm big time. I'm on the Chop Sports Network.
He's being modest. He doesn't know how to handle this influx of new fans. or old fans that they just been trying to get access and now they're finally got some access.
Listen,
and you're like,
I'm
no.
growing. My social media is growing in bounds. But anyway, it was fun to be just working again and hanging out with some cool people, which was awesome. That is that in that regard. And I'll be working again for the next couple of weeks. So I'm thrilled to death over that. Much needed cha-ching for the checkbook there. So that's cool. What else I want to talk about? What was you just mentioned something there that I wanted to chat about. Oh, I got a stand-up gig Wednesday night, which I'm going to look like Derrick Rose at the stand-up gig. I am ill prepared, but it's at a really cool place. It's up in Pauling, New York. It's called Daryl's House, which is
my parents have gone there. Daryl Hall.
Yeah, it's the Hall & Oates guy.
Love that place, bro.
I'm doing it for one reason. My buddy Mark Riccadona is over there, and he invited me to do it.
Look, they got some good.
It's a famous place.
That place is legit.
Right. There's
this show. I've told you about this show. You would love this show, bro. Because I know you're into that music.
Right.
They have artists on. It's called show called Daryl's House. You could go on YouTube and look it up.
Dude, I can't wait. It's a famous stage. Now, it's a rock and roll music kind of place, so I'm not so sure Wednesday night comedy if it's going to be the same.
I'm sure they're not doing it for no reason.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to having fun. I'm be on stage with Jeffrey Paul and Denny
My
Corby.
parents will get a kick out of that.
And so it's at Daryl's House, which is 130 on New York Route 22 in Pauling, New York, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Big shout out to my boy Mark for getting me the gig. I'm excited about that. I got to really bear down on Wednesday afternoon and say, all right, what bits am I going to do? I don't even know how long I'm doing. I think I'm doing 20 minutes. I think we're splitting it. Everybody's doing 20 minutes or so. But that's cool. Another gig there. And I'm also doing a gig May 7th. I got to post some stuff. It's called Every Family's your biggest Allman Brothers fan and share. That's so funny. Ben Harper busting my balls. I'm doing a show where you just go up and tell a story. It's called Every Family's Got One. And I'm doing a classic story about my dad, which I probably told on the show. I wonder if I should just say it now. Would that ruin it? I should wait I'll wait till after the show.
Yeah, what?
I've done it live though before, but it's a cool show out in Long Island. I'll be posting about that. It's on May 7th. It's on a Sunday. I think the show starts at 2 p.m. And all my relatives from Long Island are going to be there. Sure, that should be cool. And that's about it. But I had one other thing. You said something before. Look at me. I'm a little haphazard today here at Shea. But that's it. I think that's it for my show. Go Rangers tonight. Go Knicks. Now, the Knicks play what, Tuesday?
Knicks play tomorrow.
And then they don't play what, till June 8th? That's how it works in the NBA. You play a game, then you go on vacation.
If they win, they won't play until August.
That's it. So me and Dave had a joke about that. Like hockey's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. NBA's like Monday.
It's looking like that series is looking like that Bucks series is going to go a little deep. If the Bucks are the team that people think that they are, they should be able to make this a series. They're down 2-1. It's not by any stretch over, but Giannis is hurt, and Giannis might not be playing for the next 2, from what I'm hearing. So,
well, yeah, I listen. I don't care about the. I'm a bad fan when it comes to this stuff. I don't care about I don't care about who the Knicks play. I just want them to win this round, and then we get to the next round, and whoever everybody after this round, you have to agree everyone's better than the Knicks, right? Every team, pretty much, right? Give or take.
I mean, the Heat,
or maybe even,
the Heat are the 8th seed,
right? So
they lost a playing game, and they fought their way back in. So.
Right. But I judge each series. Bring them on. Welcome to the Garden. See how well the Knicks do. The Knicks are flawed. They can lose a series. They can get swept. I think they can sweep somebody else. They get hot. But the key thing is the Knicks, don't forget, they finally have a point guard. It's so huge in the playoffs. Brunson brings the ball up. It's huge for the Knicks. They haven't had that in a while. Anyway, all right. Shout out to Ben Harper and Diana Aguiar. I think it's Rick Aguiar's kid. I don't know what you're doing there. It looks like one of those creepy things. Christopher, thanks for doing the show. I will be doing the show next Tuesday at 1 p.m. We're back to the regular time slot. I appreciate everybody listening. I appreciate my Patreon. Go to patreon.com. Go to Instagram, official Jimmy Palumbo, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. I'll be busting all this stuff out. Oh, I know what I forgot. As soon as I get off as soon as I get off the podcast, I'm going to be watching the final beer league cuts of the beer league series, 5 of them.
Oh, so
and
we might be getting that soon.
We're close to be getting the okay, and we're going to be putting these things out sooner than it took way longer than I thought. It wasn't my fault. Production had some issues, and he had to spend time and money to get it going. And so I'll be watching them as soon as I hang up. I'm looking forward to it. And that's it. That's all I got. I will talk to you later on, Christopher. Thanks for doing the show. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you. And that's it. I'll see you guys later on. Peace.